Okay, I know this looks pretty janky, but this is the turbo block. I went ahead and installed the cheapo China plugs just because I'm waiting for the good plugs to come along, and I plan on removing these anyway. This is just for this particular uh, process I'm going to go through. I'll describe, but temporarily install the China plugs. Um, I've sealed off the entire cooling package. So there's your inlet, it's sealed off, this is sealed off. I got this tube going to vacuum pump, right? Well, that's gonna give in, that's gonna give way. I'll have to watch out for this. That could easily blow out from the vacuum. I might have to figure out a better solution for the where the thermostat goes. I can see it's already starting to suck the foil in. Maybe I can get a hard plate around there. Installing the thermostat's kind of iffy because it may not seal up that well. I don't know. I'll have to kind of keep an eye on this. Maybe it won't be that big of a deal. Maybe it will. I put the heater bypass, the heater plug where the block plug normally goes. The idea there, it gives me a point to introduce my evaporust at the low point of the cylinder. Okay? So I'm planning on feeding this into a gallon of evaporust, sucking through the bottom of the engine after I establish the vacuum inside the engine. I just use a regular block plug to seal off this one. You can see this is the inlet, it's sealed off, and this is where the vacuum goes. So just as a demonstration, to know that all this is going to kind of halfway work, let's see. That's probably going to not hold up too well. I don't think I can pull these back to something. So if I temporarily plug this up, going down, watch it out of the water. Looks like I'm going to need somewhere, but it's not going to be the feedback. And then I'll twist the evaporust and suck it into the motor. I have a feeling this is not going to hold up though right here. You know, it could just this is a pretty loose connection here. This is not tight. So that's probably where I was losing my vacuum. Because well, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's go back to a more direct hookup. Hold on. Stand by. I'm going to bypass my setup here. So in other words, if I just go directly here, because I think I got a pretty tight setup, that's not very stable. Now let's see how the vacuum goes. Ready? My thumb over the inlet where the cool is going to go. Yeah, it's going deep. Okay. So, in other words, that's holding pretty good. So what I'll probably do is keep an eye on this, get it to about that deep, put it in the evaporust, let it suck the evaporust into the engine, and then just keep an eye on it. And sooner or later, as it fills up into the cylinders, it should come up to the water inlet level. I don't really want to go into the head. The head's aluminum. It doesn't need the evaporust treatment. I don't need to put all that through it. I just want to fill the cylinders. So I can kind of use this as a sight gauge to know when I get the coolant up to about right there. You know, obviously I should be able to disconnect everything and it should just stabilize, and we'll see exactly where the coolant is. Anyway, and all this is because you see all that redness on the floor? That's from all the rust that keeps pouring out of this thing as I dig around and dig around and dig around. So I'm kind of hoping the evaporust might get the last of it out. After I get the evaporust out, I'm going to fill it. I'm going to use the same process, and I'll put WD-40 in there and completely soak the whole insides of it with WD-40, so I don't have to worry about rusting. After I get the evaporust out, I will rinse it. I'll just run a hose through it, rinse it out. Then I'll put the WD-40 in it, rinse that, and get the WD-40. You just kind of leave that in there, and I'll fill with WD-40, and I don't know. Maybe I'll try to save that WD-40. Maybe I'll just knock the plugs out and let it drain out. basically I just want to coat the inside of the engine with WD-40 after I've done the evaporust treatment for a more of a long-term situation until I can get it hooked up. Because I did all that because I was shocked at how much rust accumulated on the impeller of this pump when you had straight water in it. And I don't, I got to get the water out. I want to get everything WD-40 out, everything on the inside, and then there's no rush as far as getting it all put back together, even though I'll probably rush to get it put back together because I do want to see how it operates on the test stand. But as you can see, it's all back. I put the oil pump back on. You can't see it here, but I got the correct spindle installed. I got a brand new spindle that will drive the standard normally aspirated Dizzy. Goes right here. So, I mean, there's really nothing left to do aside from just doing the treatment I want to do to it and get the quality, presumably quality Nissan expansion plugs I'll put in there. I'll knock these out. I didn't hammer them in very solidly. I'll knock those out. I'll put the sealant on them, put the good ones in. I hope they'll come out easy. I don't know. Hopefully. And that's that. So anyway, it's more to come, but we're getting pretty close. I've already, like I said, I put it all back together. I put the compression tester, and I checked each hole, and I actually just used a breaker bar. Just popped it over. I just popped over the compression stroke as fast as I could by hand, and each one of them was about 75 psi. So I think I got it all back together okay. Especially the one piston I pulled out. Of course, I was a little nervous about that one. That one was the same as all the others, so I guess I got all the rings back in the right way, and I didn't screw anything up. So I'm glad about that. But yeah, we're good to go. I got a new I put a new pan gasket on it, even though I don't think it needed it. The old rubber gasket seemed fine. I ended up getting a Mahl. I don't know how you pronounce it. MAHL, I believe. It was a cork gasket, which I wasn't real happy about. Cork might have been the OE. I don't know. Cork gaskets are kind of not good for long term, but I was careful not to over torque it. I know better than to do that. But that's it. Yeah, we're always ready to go. So hopefully you'll be seeing some action pretty soon. But I just wanted to share where I am on the turbo. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else to report. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll get you an update after what I'll do is after I do the whole evaporust treatment, I think I'll pop those core plugs out and try to get some good close-ups of how that looks. I probably should have done that before I plugged them up, but trust me, they were just coated with surface rust. Even though the big chunks were out, and these cylinders, I think these three you could see through. Maybe they're supposed to be that way. I don't think these ones are water goes through the front and the rear, but I think these three passages right here between these two cylinders, well, that cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder, that cylinder, I cleaned those out. That's what all that brush thing is about down here. That was me digging through, trying to get every last bit of rust out. I know I probably should have just taken it down to a shop and hot tanked it and all that kind of stuff, but I was getting mixed reviews on like who does hot tanking anymore as opposed to like a jet wash, and I don't know how good that does to get the inside clean. I saw videos about people doing making their own hot tanks, and plus that would have required a full, complete disassembly of the engine, which frankly I don't really think I need to do. I mean, the engine's, it seemed good. Everything I looked at that I did disassemble looked great. So I just couldn't see the point of disassembling it just to find out it looks great, just to clean the rust out. Anyway, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Bye.